Welcome back to the show. Great to have you company live from Melbourne this morning. Well, fresh fallout for the CFMEU this morning. Union boss Zack Smith succumbing to pressure from the coalition and quitting Labor's top executive committee. Shadow Minister for Small Business Tim Wilson and 9 News and 3AW presenter Heidi Murphy join me to discuss. Nice to see you both. Timmy, you're first up. You've been on Labor about Smith for weeks, but ultimately he was the one to cut ties. Your reaction?
Well, it's welcome that he's pulled the pin from the National Executive of the Labor Party, but he's still a key advisor to Minister Rishworth, the Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations, on a body she has, which is the National Construction Industry Forum. She's got to sack him from that role because even he knows he can't be attached to the government. Surely the government now knows that he's got to jump off that. But yesterday in question time, she defended his role and ran interference to keep him there.
Heidi, it's been a while coming, hasn't it? He resigned 2 weeks ago, kept it on the quiet. Just keeps kicking along, that story.
Well, it certainly does, and perhaps why has it been kept a secret for so long? I think that's just how this union operates. It seems to operate. Tim makes a good point. Why is he still on that particular advisory body to the minister? And why, in fact, has he been sending a proxy along since the administrator was put in? Why has he still been sending a representative along for those National Executive Committee meetings with the Labor Party? We've had the administrator in for more than a year now. Has the clean-up worked? No,
and the stories keep coming. Moving on, that surge in inflation, which the Reserve Bank says has been driven by rising electricity prices. Tim, another thing we didn't see coming.
Well, that's true, rising electricity prices, but it's also the government is fueling spending today through higher debt. Because they won't pull in their belt, it means Australians are paying more. It's fueling inflation, which means higher interest rates are sadly going to be sustained. And that means every Australian is going to be paying more on their mortgage if they've still got one. And, of course, it's be putting upward pressure on things at the supermarket. Until the government pulls in its belt and cuts spending, we're all going to pay higher prices.
Would you extend rebates?
Well, I think the rebates are only a salve to the actual problem, which is higher inflation. We should be addressing the problem of higher inflation. That would be a better long-term solution than just throwing more money onto the inflation fire, which is only going to fuel interest rates.
Still, the pressure on household budgets, though, is immense.
Well, it is immense, and I can understand the argument against extending the rebates, but the last thing we need between now and Christmas is an interest rate increase. I think the best Jim Chalmers can hope for at the moment is that the Reserve Bank holds steady. We can't do anything that adds further to inflation.
Energy prices are not going to go down.
Well, they're not. With the move to renewables and the transmission lines that need to go in, absolutely. The cost is enormous.
It's a good thing, Timmy, you've got this groundbreaking meeting today with the Coalition and Net Zero when you're finally going to show the Australian people your policy.
Well, what we're focused on is how do we get to net zero price increases and, of course, net zero outages, because, you know, when Australians go and flick the switch on to walk into a room, they want to know the power's going to turn on, but more importantly, they're going to be able to afford the bill at the end of it. And so that's going to be our focus. And, of course, people care deeply about emissions, but they want to make sure we get the price right. They want to make sure we have a reliable system, and then they'll be supportive of lower emissions too.
Nicely avoided that question. Look, the Nats aren't even going to this meeting. It's going to be a couple of randoms sitting around in the pub.
I thought you were a coalition. I thought you were all good friends,
random,
Tim.
Come on, Timmy.
Well, no, I mean, it's a really important issue. Otherwise, I'd be there in Melbourne with you.
Well, you'll be there.
Yeah.
I got it. Let's see what happens. Finally, Kevin Rudd's in Sydney talking up Albo, giving him, quote, full marks for repairing our relationship with China. Heidi, Ruddy's been very successful over the last couple of weeks. It's good to see him back on the international stage.
It is good, and he could probably solve all manner of conflicts. Perhaps he could help with net zero. Perhaps he could help in the coalition party room, Tim. I mean, he's available. He's very good at sorting relationships out.
You'd accept that, wouldn't it? A bit of advice from Ruddy, Timmy?
Look, I'm not sure that he's the first person I go to counsel. He was the guy who actually, remember, he tried to introduce the carbon tax and his entire government exploded.
All right. Finally, before we go, it's early, but can I get a tip? Not necessarily for the Melbourne Cup, but your favourite place to eat in Melbourne. Heidi, you're first up.
Oh, goodness. Cumulus Inc.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you like there?
Everything.
All right. Yeah. And for you, Timmy?
Ooh, I'd probably have to go in the CBD, the City Wine Shop, because it has, simple Italian fare. It's really delicious. Yeah. But, of course, I'd always have to recommend somewhere in my electorate in Goldstein, I guess.
All right, beautiful stuff. Melbourne is coming alive. It's going to be a great carnival. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank
Have
you.
a great weekend. Your 7 a.m. news is just moments away.